did you continue to buy rentals or did you go into transactional stuff? What did that look like?
Okay, so from that period on, I just had that one. I really started to double down on my active income, which was my building company. And
Okay.
so I started scaling my building company, and I really went back to that because I was a little scorned. Even though I had the education, I still had my hands slapped. And so I was like, yeah, I gotta wait. I gotta wait. And I just waited and waited. And then about, I want to say 2020, I was like, we really need to look back at this. We have the education now. We know so much more. I'm talking like to my wife, my partner, and she's like, yeah, I know this is the true way we need to do this. We're not huge 401k people, but we kept put money into it. So we went back to real estate and said, hey, let's do this from a different angle with our education now and our experience and a solid other business. And so she ended up getting her license. And she's like, I'm going to do some retail stuff. So in 2020, I was like, at least we can beta test this. Right. So you can go back into it with at least you could get a couple of listings, that are outside of our business. And we're going to make an extra buck or two. And then you can also start to dabble back in the real estate investing stuff. And so she did. She goes, I'm going to try to wholesale some stuff. I'm like, okay. Because we knew what it was. I mean, she come.
And you learned it from that course?
Yeah, we learned it from that course. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, you don't know fully how things transaction wise work until you just do it.
Yep.
And so we're huge action takers. But anyways, so we go and she actually got a house under contract from the MLS, or a neighbor told her about one on the MLS. And so she got the deal, and then she ended up wholesaling that deal to a friend of ours that's another builder. And she made like 10 or 15 grand on that deal. And so that perked my ears. And at the end of the year, I'm looking at the financials, and I'm like, you made pretty damn good money. I'm doing new construction. I'm doing big houses. The majority of stuff that I was building at the time was, $700,000 plus. And if I did a remodel, it was like $300,000 to $400,000. And in Oklahoma, that's a big house. There's not as many $1 million homes. So I was doing high end stuff. You could in Oklahoma, just for your listeners, you can get like a 5,000 square foot house for $1 million pretty easily. So you got nice houses for that price range. So I was doing a remodel, and this remodel ended up taking me about 8 months at the time, and I made like what she made in one transaction. I ended up making, I would say she did another couple wholesales or so, or a few transactions that she made in like, less than 2 days worth of work realistically. And I was like, oh, we got to go all in on this. We got to go back and revisit. And so during that 2020 to where we are standing here today, we accumulated rentals, and I finished working for my clients, and I just kind of slowly phased out of new construction of that side of it. And we built up a portfolio. We still continue to build a portfolio today, but we mainly do wholesale, and we do very few fix and flip. I really hate holding a lot of property for a long time. I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. But because in my mind, knowing what I know and having the ability with the banks and the reputation, I know that if I'm going to fix it, why not just keep it? Why not just keep it? Or I still do. And one of my biggest things now, and something that I'll probably present on back with CG, is my contract for deeds. I'll give my history on that, how it saved my neck on that one. And I really do like those because it allows me to do a lot more with properties that I necessarily wouldn't want to put in my portfolio, but it gives somebody else a home and the ability to create equity in their own property that may not have an opportunity to do that.
Wow. Now, is did your wife ever do retail transactions, and how many rentals do you have right now?
Yes. So she did quite a few. I would say quite a few. Is 1 year. I think she did 4 or 5. Okay. Some bigger deals, which are great when you look at it from a commission side.
Yeah.
But she didn't enjoy it that much. I mean, as anybody knows that's been in real estate agent side, MLS side, it's the same grind as being a builder. It's probably better than being a custom builder, but it's the same grind. And then our portfolio right now, including like our contract for deeds and stuff like that, I think we have 14 units, so not a lot, but we're on the way to scaling up that at the same time of building this business out.
Well, that's a lot to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So 14 units and continuously to still build that. Let me ask you this, Austin. So your wife was crushing it. You said, "Hey, I want to get we need to kind of partner up and get into this real estate thing." You had your
Mhm.
construction business. What did it take for you? Because we all know in the beginning, you do a deal here and there, right? Deal 1 month, it's going to take a couple months to get another deal, right? And a lot of people go through that struggle of getting that consistent deal flow.
Yeah.
What took you and your wife from doing that first year of a couple deals to just consistent deal flow?
Like what did it take as far as business wise, or what did it take timeline?
Yeah, let's go both.
Okay.
I mean, if I was somebody who said, Austin, I need, how the heck are you? Can I get a deal every month? And a deal flow to some people, right? Like to us, we're probably looking for 10 plus deals a month, right?
Yeah.
But for some people, maybe they just want a deal a month, right? But
Oh, I
what would
mean,
you do?
I remember that feeling, I remember that. I wanted to see this pay off. At first, uh, I just wanted to see that it was possible. You know what I mean? And when she
Yeah.
got that transaction on the side, and it made it feel real. And I think that's what a lot of people really need. They need that juice to help them to see that it's actually possible to happen.
Hmm.
But it took me, my gosh, it took us, I want to say, 6 consistent deal flow. We were doing one a month, I would say, after
Hmm.
about 90 to 120 days.
That's not
But
bad. That's really
no,
good.
well, we have a lot of, I mean, yeah, it's not bad at all, but you got to look at like what you spend in on it and and I had the capital to be able to spend some of that because I
Right.
was still had other operational businesses. So
I,
you
I
can,
want I want I want to point that
Mhm.
up. Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
That's actually, and I say that, and I say that all the time, is because when I first got in this business, I was in debt. I was in traumatic. I was over 100 grand in debt. With what you saw, what I spoke on in our CG meeting, but yeah, a lot of people come on and they show the flashy stuff in social media, saying, look at what we did, right, in such a short amount of time, and it's like, well, you don't understand that one, they knew business, they knew sales, and they had a lot of capital to put into
Yeah,
marketing right away.
yeah, they
So I
had
like
to.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I have a good friend of mine that's actually trying to get into wholesaling now. He's working on it. He's spending a bunch of money. He's not in real estate in general right now. I think he has, one VRBO. He lives out of the country because he's in the military. But
Okay.
he struggled with this specific scenario, and he started dumping money into marketing and trying to figure all that out. And then another thing I think that gets maybe sold or misconstrued with wholesaling is like, just go out there and you can do it with no money. And yes, that is true. Like you can do it with no money. Like I don't want to
Mhm.
mislead anybody. You can go out there and put the sweat equity in. You can go knock doors. You can do that, but it depends on what position you are in your life. If you're trying to go knock doors and hustle this and that, and you got 4 kids at home and a full-time job,
Mm,
it's a different scenario, isn't it? So you're
right.
right about the misleading information sometimes on social media. Truly, a lot of people do. They do outbound marketing a lot of times. So you're having cold callers, you're having SMS, you're doing the mailers like old school, or you're doing the bandit signs, things like that. And that's going to cost you money. And you're not going to see that return for a while. You may not see that return at all if you give up. And
Mhm.
so that's where people get, I think, struggle.
Yeah, 100%.